Hello once again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading. Today's video is going to show the crude oil market trading in the first couple hours of the pit open here on this Friday, end of the week. And we're going to be using basically what we've been showing the last few days here. A lot of traders have been trading this using the institutional algorithm bands and then combining that with the filters in one of the other indicators called the octopus. There's basically two different ways to approach these trades. I'm going to show the first one, and that is we did have an algorithm band which formed here just before the pit open. Our pit open here is 6 a.m. Pacific. So this is the start of the trade. As you came up through the band, that is the long entry here. As you came down through the band again, it was the short entry here, and then back up again through the band, the long entry right here. So you had three relatively nice entries at the beginning. And as you can oftentimes do when you get an algorithm band in those first 15 minutes of the pit open, you can just trade both sides of the band and just go with the flow. You'll never miss a big trade like that. In the circumstances that we had here, at least you had a nice trade here for about 15 or 18 ticks on a scalp. This short trade amounted to about 6 or 7, not a huge amount, but then this is what really makes it worthwhile. Either the trade entry here or the trade entry here for a very big move to the upside. Okay, and then continuing on with that, you would have gotten caught on a little bit of a short trade here if you're just trading both sides of the band in the first 15 minutes. But then the good thing is with a relatively small stop, and you can place your stop on the other side of the band, that reversed to a long for a nice trade. Then that takes us out further, and then we can start employing, if you like, both the algo bands and the arrows from the filter, the double filter, which is helping you get on the right side of the market. So we continued on the algorithm band, and then the market went short up under here based on the arrow. Once we broke below the band, that was a short trade. We would have continued with another entry short here unless you were managing the runner. And then we had a sequence of trade setups here again on this algorithm band, short here, again short here. If we look back as we come back through the band again, because we don't have another arrow up going the other way, we look back to what the previous was. So it's again short here, and you can see this road all the way down, a very big move. If you started from this area up in here right around the 34.25 area, this came down to around 33.30, and that's roughly about 90 ticks on a single contract, and that was in this time span of about a half an hour. So very nice trades. Now, what's really good about the utility of these bands is, again, it's measuring what the institutions are doing, and notice we had another one here, and finally had the arrow to the upside. So this is a long trade here, and as we came down to the band again, we look to the left, our arrow was still up, so that's a long trade entry here as well. As we moved up to the top, as I mentioned in the room today, this area right here was the 38% retrace from this entire move that we had. If we come all the way back and we check the high, this was the high. This was made around 6:22, 6:23 Pacific time this morning. As we pulled down from the high to the low that was established, I had mentioned this in the live markets analysis room this morning. This was the 38% retrace. And this is a very important level. When you have a large move, whether it's up or down, in this case it was down, and you come back to the 38% level, you will generally get a very good tradable bounce in there. And today we showed basically how to trade this. It also had an algorithm band that formed up here as well. So because of that algorithm band, and because you were at the 38% level, you can trade both sides of this. Okay, so this was a short entry here and here and here as well. Okay, and then notice what the market did. It sold off tremendously all the way to the downside. A very good move to the downside, and roughly about 80 ticks off of this. The other thing I wish to point out to you, and a lot of you know this, these markets are very efficient at hunting and squeezing stops. And if you look to see what happened on this move, we had a series of higher highs and higher lows as we were moving up. Eventually, when we got up to the 38% retrace level, it broke to the downside. And then, as they often do, because they try to, these markets are manipulated. The institutions basically manipulate the markets. They know where most of the traders are trying to place their stops. Some traders trading with scared money. So they came after the stops again, right here. They took them out, squeezed the last drop out of it, and then down it dropped. But again, knowing where these levels are, knowing that you had an algorithm band up in here, so the institutions determined that this was an important level, and then using the filters that you have available here, it keeps you on the correct side of the market. So you could have participated on the long side up through here, and then over to the short side down here. As I also pointed out, it's not really advisable to look to go on the long side when you've come back at that 38% retrace, because the reward to risk is not very large. On the other hand, the reward to risk on the short side is extremely large, and this is what you're looking for, and this was exactly what happened, the market moving down. So I think you can see, using the combination of institutional algorithms where the bands are formed and good trade management together with proper filters, you can have very large reward to risk trades. As we speak, we had an algorithm band that formed over here. I realize this is more than 2 hours now beyond, but I just wanted to point this out. We did have an algorithm band here. If we look back to the left, we see that the last arrow that we had was to the upside. So you would have been looking for a long trade here that got stopped out. But then as we came back up into a long trade here, and this trade is still proceeding to the upside as we speak. So again, that's the crude oil trading recap for today. And it was basically showing the trades in the first 2 hours after the pit open, and then added bonus just to see what happened here in real time. So thanks for watching. I hope this was informative, and one of the big important things that you should come away with here, in addition to being able to trade institutional algorithms with filters, is when you get a big run up or down and you move into that 38% retrace level, that is an area that the institutions are manipulating and trying to drive price to, and they're trying to squeeze as many stops before they try to continue in the same direction. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice weekend. I hope to see and talk to a lot of you soon. Bye now.